So, Lori, thank you so much for being with us tonight. It was a tough night. Tell me, what were you thinking going into that afternoon?
Well, we had the match in the morning, and that was we filmed two shows that day, and the morning show was last week when Christina and Sophie had a head-to-head, and then we broke for lunch and changed our clothes and came back out and kept going. So it was actually kind of a better way to do it, where you felt like you got a little bit more golf in for the day.
Mm-hmm.
So I think everybody was a little bit, probably a little bit more in tournament mode because, we had played a hole from, a few different positions, and then Sophie had actually gotten to play a few more holes, and, and then we knew we were going to play 6 holes. So it was almost a 9-hole day for, Sophie, but it was probably the closest we had come to playing golf.
It was certainly playing golf, but, you were, really not involved in the morning much at all. So, I can see sort of sitting around, waiting around, that could actually have an effect on your overall sort of being ready for that day. Did you feel a little bit like that, or were you like pumped up, ready to go?
I think I was just really ready to go. I was looking forward to playing some golf, and I didn't have any hesitations about it. I think I was really ready to get on with it and see what was going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Well, you talked in the show about some quotes that I took down from the show. You said length is frightening, and you were talking about Kim, obviously, and you didn't want to be beaten down by distance, and you actually weren't. You really weren't. But your putter was an overdrive. It was really the adrenaline or something. What was it that you were hitting the putt so hard that day? Was it wind? Because it was really windy. We could see that. We could see the skirts just flying. What was it? Why were the putts going so far?
Well, I haven't gotten to play but more than 1 hole on the golf course in the whole time we've been out there. So I've only really putted in, in a golf format in the match against Christina.
Mm.
And that was in the morning round. I hadn't even seen the holes that we were going to play. I had to go ask if I could, run around the golf course and look at them, because all the girls had been on the golf course. They'd all played. They all knew the holes. I was the only one that hadn't really played any golf.
Mm.
And I never really got a feel for, the greens or the grain or, just how the greens respond. And I really had a difficult time seeing the grain. I knew that when it was going towards the water, it would be fast. But there was water everywhere. So, everywhere you look, there's ocean. So I was really confused on grain. And I think I really, the first hole I 2-putted. The second hole I started charging putts, and I think I just got so wrapped up in line that I just really forgot about pace. And then when I started to get frustrated about hitting it so far by, I was like, come on, calm down, just relax. And I still was too aggressive, even when I was trying to be more relaxed, or not relaxed, but just really watch my pace. I was even telling myself to watch my pace, and yet I was still blasting them. I think I just got so wrapped up in trying to make every putt, because once you get behind in that kind of format, you can't, lagging's not going to do you any good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think at a certain point, after a couple of holes, I knew I had to make birdies, and, even if that's not what I was going to do. So, every putt I think the third hole and the fourth hole went right over the edges. I just didn't have a good feel. I didn't have pace. I didn't have a good feel, and that's usually not my problem. I'm usually a little too tentative.
So
that
yeah.
didn't show.
Okay, so let's talk about that. So what is your usual game? Where is your strengths? Where are your weaknesses in the game? And did we actually see the real Lori out there tonight?
No, Lori's a much more consistent player. My career, if you look at my career and my scoring averages and my tournaments and, my winning scores, I'm pretty consistent. I don't make a lot of mistakes. And, I especially don't make one mistake after another. I think at this stage in my life and my career, I've really learned to minimize, big numbers or, just things that are just kind of, not stupid mistakes, but just unnecessary things,
Mm-hmm.
I think that, I think if I had gotten to play a little bit more golf in challenges or, not so much trick shots and, that kind of golf, I think I would have been a little better off. I think I would have been a little bit more comfortable on the golf course.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, you didn't play a lot of elimination challenges, so you didn't actually get a chance to play a lot on the golf course. Yeah.
Right.
So you've got $25,000, so nobody can call you a loser, Lori. How did you feel that day? That morning, you said, and Christina absolutely agreed with you, no question, she beat herself. Do you think you beat yourself that afternoon? Because at one point you said at the end you would rather be beaten by good shots. But I got the feeling you didn't feel that you were being beaten by good shots. Did you beat yourself that afternoon?
I didn't beat myself, and I don't feel like I got beat. I think winning $25,000 made me a little too nonchalant, and kind of made me too comfortable because I knew I was going to walk away with something.
Mm-hmm.
And I may not have, brought the focus and the intensity that you need to, finish out the job. I was actually really starting to feel a little guilty that I had won so much and nobody else had won anything.
Mm.
And what would everybody think and how would everybody act if Lori won everything on the show? I started to really feel weird about it.
Oh.
So I don't know. I think I was a little too nonchalant and really didn't gear up like I normally would when I'm trying to win a golf tournament.
You did obviously demonstrate throughout the series that you have a lot of game. And I have to say, I was shocked that it wasn't Sophie who went home tonight. I was absolutely convinced it was down to you and Kim in the last round. But is there any closing remarks you'd like to say tonight to people watching the show about this series?
Well, I think it's been a great series, and I think that, not always we saw Adrian go home early, and, we saw some strong golfers go home early, and, there's a little luck involved, and there's a lot of skill involved, but I think for, the Golf Channel and the Big Break, I think they have two very classy competitors, and either one of them will represent the Golf Channel and the Big Break well, and it's just been a fun show to do and be a part of and to watch, and it'll just be exciting to see it finish out and be able to enjoy, sharing the whole show with everybody and not having to keep any more secrets. So it was just fun to be a part of, and I'm glad that I know that most of us are glad we got the opportunity to do it, and I'm looking forward to watching the end just like everybody else is.
That's great. No, that's great. We are all looking forward to it, and I understand that Sophie's going to be sending you chocolates, and you're going to send her Starbucks or something like that. So
yeah.
It's good you made some friends, and that's great. Well, Lori, I hope we get to talk next week because it's going to be a great final outcome, and I'd love to hear your perspective on it.
Well, all righty.